Hey, and we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We got a special guest tonight, Peter from Guppy Guru. And we're going to have a nice chat with him. And you guys are welcome to ask questions, and we'll watch for them. But before that, Mr. Skipper's going to welcome everybody and say hi. Skipper.
Hi, everybody. Oh, you want me to read that?
That's right. Read it. Here, just
hello, Mary Page, Big D Smoke, Maria Z, Scott's Aquatics, Mike's Aquatics and Things, Terry's Tropical Tanks, Lori, Monster Fish Gal, Dee Dee's Fin Den, Rico Stan says he's going to be lurking, Eric Y. Rock, Because You're a Fish. Oh, would you believe that just jumped on me?
Yeah. That's why I don't want to do it.
Colette S. and Adele and Garcia Aquatics just showed up. Oh, hey, there's Robert T. Aqua and Jenny Lynn, Sandy Dowdy. Anybody else want to say hi?
Hi.
All the cool kids. Skippers want to get him off there.
Yeah, please do. I want to break my camera. It's new.
All right. Robert, do you want to come up? You want to try coming up? I have 10 people now. I got the whatever. The one
Pro
I have to
version.
Pay. Yeah, I kind of like to try that pro version. Yeah. Hey, Anthony.
And Lorray. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I just said. Vinosky,
Okay.
how you doing?
Vinosky, thanks. Yeah.
DJ Palmer.
Some great people hanging out.
Yeah, all the cool kids are here, as they say. And guys, those links are, the mods really sling those links, but it's because we want you to check out all of our stuff, videos and stuff, that most of our stuff got some awesome things to look at. So stores and stuff. Yeah. All right. I'm going to make you solo if that's okay. Or if you prefer what I want. It's up to you.
Doesn't matter. Either way, it's your show, Bob. Yeah.
All right. Here. There we go.
You run it.
Well, welcome. I did
appreciate
mention
you
that,
having me.
We're very pleased to have you. And I hadn't thought about asking you before, and you were in chat a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, I need to ask him. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked out perfect. Yeah. I had the hour here at the end of closing day on Sunday, and it worked out perfect. So
yeah, he's actually still in the warehouse there this is the last hour.
Yeah.
So you have to be
still chilling in the store. So it's just big old office area back here we got. Yeah, this is going to definitely change a lot back here. So right now it's kind of my old job all behind me. All my stuff from my old job is still back there. So once all that's gone, then this is going to turn into to the new Guppy Garage. So you guys get the exclusive alert on that one. That's no one else knows that except for you guys now.
So guys, mom's the word.
So
is your old job? I know you were running your parents' business. Is that the old job you speak of? Or?
Yeah, my dad's company. Yeah, I'm still running that for him. We're still doing a bunch of that stuff, but there's a lot I still have to finish up from that. 35-year-old business, so it takes a long time to kind of get out of all the stuff that we've got in the queue. So, but it's time. He's retiring. He's been doing it for 35 years. So 62 years old, and most of the stuff we do is like 300 or 400 pound pieces of equipment. So it's just really hard on a body. So he's pretty beat up. So I didn't want to do that. I
don't blame you. Especially if you love fish. I didn't mean to jump right into your personal business, but it's just a perfect segue. I told you I would ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself, personal stuff, like what you do. You just got married recently, that kind of stuff. So, and anything you want to tell us. So, have at it.
Yeah, Salt Lake City, Utah. Born and raised here. So beautiful state. If you guys have ever been to Utah, you absolutely know it. Beautiful mountains. We just got our first snowfall the other day. So all of our mountains are all white capped right now, and It's beautiful. It's like 70 degrees outside, but all the mountains are covered in snow.
Beautiful.
And then we got married May 1st, me and my beautiful wife. So we've been married, what's that, 5 months now? A little over 5 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was incredible. We had a really small wedding, about 35 family members, and some really close friends, and it was just really nice. We were able just to relax and enjoy the day. And then we went down to Costa Rica and did a 2-week big honeymoon down there, and we stayed at this really incredible retreat kind of place up in the mountains, which was actually an animal rescue facility too at the same time.
Nice.
So they had this huge, like, I think it was like 1,000 feet wide by 2,000 feet long aviary with just hundreds and hundreds of birds in it. And they converted an old pool into a trout pond. And they had jaguars and toucans and lemurs and sloths and monkeys and all sorts of stuff on site, and frogs. So it was really cool. We were able to walk around and beautiful waterfalls. And I was able to do some little fish collecting stuff in one of the local streams there, which was pretty cool. I was able to see some of the natural stuff, wild pipefish, iridescent sharks, and everything that you always see just in your tank, but you never see where they're from. So it was really cool to see a lot of that stuff while we were down there. And then, for the last 10 years, Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Well, I was going to say, when you collected, did you collect, identify, and release, or were you able to bring anything back?
No, I didn't bring anything back. They only have 2 people down there that are allowed to collect. Costa Rica is very, very closed off as far as collection goes. They're very, very, very protective of their natural resources and their animals, which is great because they have some of the best ones in the world. So I just was able to do that video, take some pictures, and just kind of just have fun out there in the water for a whole day, which is really cool. You hear the spider monkeys and the howler monkeys in the tree around you, and it's so terrifying because there's hundreds of them, and all you hear is that loud, like, screaming noise up in the tree, and you're like, "What? Am I gonna die right now?" So it was pretty cool though. Like, and all the shrimp, like, and the giant freshwater prawns that they had down there. It was really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you had videos of that stuff too, right?
I made one video of that. Yep. Yeah, just one quick one. I didn't really plan on filming anything, so I didn't bring any cameras or anything. I just had my phone with me, so it's kind of one of those. I just wanted to do it and get some cool footage while I was down there, because I don't know if I'm ever going to go back down there. So it was worth doing it while I was there. So
sure, yeah.
Let's see if we got anything in the chat.
I haven't seen anything. Panel, did you see anything?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
All right.
So, Peter, how long have you had a store?
So I came on as a partner with Lewis in December. So Lewis opened the shop in May of 2020. So we've been open for a little over a year and a half now. But he opened it by himself back in May, and then I came on as a partner in December. And then I retired, or semi-retired, from my other job October 1st. So,
nice.
So now I'm here full-time as of the 1st of this month. So I've been working 6 days a week. Yeah. So very different, though. Very, very different. Working Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. The desk job kind of situation, and then going out and doing installations and service work and stuff. And now coming in and being able to talk with, other fish nerds and nerd out all day long. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I kind of know how you feel. I went from a shop foreman in a wireman shop 2.5 years ago and opened my own store. I was about to kill myself in my career. It was going to cripple me. Yeah.
It's not fun when you don't like what you're doing, but when you like what you're doing, it's definitely a different day. That is for sure.
Is that so true?
Agreed.
It's one of those things. I wake up, I'm excited. So
yeah, you don't work a day in your life.
No, sir.
Yeah. It's kind of hard though, because there's so many cool things, and I want to take them all home, but I can't because I have to run a business. So
you kind of got to make a rule with yourself. Let it sit there 2 weeks. If it's been there 2 weeks, you can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a dwarf pike out front. It was there for about a month, and I'm like, okay, if it's still there by Monday, I'm taking it home. And then it sold today, and I was like, okay.
Oh.
Well, that's how you sell fish. You decide you want it,
Yes.
and it will sell.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but Lewis does the same thing. He's like, I'm going to keep all those, and then they all sell the next day. And he's like, well, I guess I never get to keep the fish. So.
Edie's asking you if that's the same front where Trent was.
Yep, it was. Yep.
I mean, Mark's gonna be jealous.
So I've checked the website out a little bit, and I was wondering if are you guys going to be like getting more fish in to put on the website, or?
Yeah, we're just kind of starting small right now. We're just taking some of the stuff that we've got in shop and throwing it on there, but we're redoing the whole store, and we're going to redesign that, and then we're going to redesign. We have multiple spaces in our building here, so I can kind of show you guys what we're doing. Let me kind of turn you around here if I can. Let's see, and then I'll show you guys kind of what we got going on. So.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Pam, you're welcome to come up
here.
I'll send you the link. Or the link in chat.
Let's see if it's gonna work. We'll let the camera swap out here. There we go.
Oh yeah.
All right. So this is the store is up here. So the storefront's really small. The storefront's only like maybe 15 by 30 or 15 by 40. So there's about 75, 80 tanks up front. But then you walk through, you've got like our bathroom and then our mop closet and stuff. But then we walk into this big back room that they had made, because this used to be a dance studio. So this was their office space. But this is going to be all online fish back here. So we're redoing some stuff. So all this is going to be online. All that's going to be online. And then we're adding more in here in the middle. And then right now this is turning into my breeding rack. So we're going to breed some stuff in the shop here too. So we got some cool stuff we're going to start breeding here. So like these huge Hanoi ghost angelfish. You can kind of see it in the back there on the back wall.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
we got a pair of those, and then albino bushies and some bronze cory cats, and then a couple more angelfish. So we got some breeders. We're going to move all that into this rack, and then I'm going to start breeding here in the store, which is going to be awesome. So we're really excited to kind of expand what we're doing. But right now it's just we're trying to get it all done correctly, if that makes sense, because you don't want to do it like half as good as you could.
Yeah,
exactly. So the back's kind of a mess still, and we're still working on it, but this is step one of probably 50 steps to get this set up.
It's looking beautiful so far.
Yeah.
So these were, if you see the original videos of like when I did unboxings down here, this was in the storefront. Lewis had made all these for the storefront.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So we moved these back here, and now we're doing the metal racks up front just because the metal racks hold a lot more tanks. But these look good back here. They fit back here perfectly. There's just enough space. So yeah, we've got some, like on our set, we got flower horns and that kind of stuff, and some little green dragon bristle nose, and these guys are so funny. So we got some cool little stuff, some green lasers. Cory cats. I think that's a breeding group, so we're gonna keep those and try to breed them. So we got some stuff we're working on.
I'm gonna follow that. If you breed those, I have 4 that won't breed and have been for over 2 years. So
so let me show you what.
Hopeful.
So this is the rest of the space we have here. So this is all the stuff from my current stuff that I've got to get rid of. So we got all this space that's going to be open.
Wow.
Someone asked something real quick before you get further, Peter. Was the blue one, was that a plywood tank?
The one here in the middle of this room?
Yeah.
This one right here? Yeah. So Lewis built that when he was like 14 years old. So,
wow.
So he's been around it for a long time. Actually, I think she's still hanging in there. But this albino right there, it's an albino Oscarita. She's just turned 13 years old, so she's
Wow.
she's getting to the end of her life, and so we're trying just to keep her happy, but she's getting close to being the end there. So, but yeah, so Lewis built this a long time ago, so we still use it though every day.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and then this is going to turn into, so this is our office space here, absolute mess, but everything's still moving around. But this whole rack right here that we've got is going to turn into a giant breeding facility right here. So I'm going to be able to live stream from here going forward, and then you'll just have breeding sets all across the back wall there.
That's cool.
Just that
So we're really
white
excited
thing.
for that.
What's the white tall thing up there?
This thing, just to take
No,
up
to
the
the
phone.
left. To your left. It goes up to the ceiling. Yeah. Where'd it go? It had light on
The
it.
box wall.
No, back to right a little. Sorry. Yes,
one?
that might be it. Yeah.
That's just a big 300-gallon pond.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so we've got big water troughs we're going to fill up with aged water for the breeding setups. We've got this for down the road. If we get a bunch of fry, we can throw them into that. We got boxes everywhere for fish, and
Love
boxes
that
going
art
out
on it.
Monday for fit shipments. And
So, Peter, are you going to be importing or only breeding?
it's going to be both. So
Okay.
here, I'll go back to a front cam right here.
And what
bear with
kind
me
of
one
bird was
second.
that?
Let's see if we can. That's our new parrot we just got. Here,
Is that a yellow front Amazon?
It's a Senegal.
Oh, okay.
This is
Beautiful.
Wow.
Cotto. Oh, bud. Get him up here. So we just got him.
Oh,
Oh,
We
he's
just got him a couple
beautiful.
weeks ago. So, but the last people that had him didn't take great care of him. So he's plucked all of his chest feathers out.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
birds
poor
are
little
super
guy.
What a
expensive
cutie.
right now.
Yeah, we lucked out, but we, being a fish store, so we get wholesale pricing on everything pet related. So we got him this huge cage, and so he's
Oh, wow.
living the life.
They pluck him
Living
feathers
the life.
out because of nerves.
Yeah, he was really stressed out. They had him in about
Stress,
a 10 by a 12 by 12 little cage. It was
Wow.
very inadequate for what
God.
he should have been in.
Awesome.
Actually, I think I still have it because this is what they gave him to me in. And I was like, okay.
My parent cage is bigger than 12 by 12. Holy cow.
Yeah. This right here was the cage that they
Oh,
had him
no.
in.
That's
Wow.
for a
That little
parakeet.
cage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I wouldn't even
Yeah.
put a parakeet in that.
Yeah.
Hey,
No. So
bitch.
he was a little mistreated. So
Wow,
he's a good little bird now, though.
definitely better.
We
off.
like him. Yes, 100% better off for sure. Got to find
Yeah,
my table here.
A bird is definitely on our bucket list at the store.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
That's
I'd
what we
love
were
to get him
thinking
a
too.
call.
Yeah, Lewis and I have both wanted. I'm trying to charging cable. Sorry, I'm running around looking for one. We of course we want to keep a pet fish in shop because who doesn't want their pet fish in shop? But every
Right.
single time we were like, oh yeah, this is our pet fish, we'd sell it. So
Of course.
we were like, well, I think it might be time to go for a different animal of some kind. So we decided the bird was the way to go. And then I found him on our local, it's called KSL, which is kind of like a Craigslist for Utah. And so I saw him on there and, he didn't look good. And I was like, okay, I think he's the one we need to save. Oh, he flew back over. We need to save him. We need to give him his good home and make him happy. So now he's here with us and living a good life. So
Glad.
That's awesome.
Good.
Always get the one that needs you the most, for sure. That's awesome.
exactly. Plug in here.
Now,
And then it's definitely going to know that it's being definitely well taken care of.
Oh yeah, he's the life of luxury. This whole guy, life of luxury. So he's a happy little bugger.
behind, I'm
Hey,
asking
don't chew on
because
my shirt though. Hey,
what's the difference
All
in
of
the?
my shirts have little tiny holes in the shoulder. Every
yeah,
one of them.
that's what he does. He's been doing it a little more lately, but he's getting very trusting of us now, which is really
Oh,
nice.
that's
So
so
he
sweet.
lets me pet him, and he started saying "guppy" the other day, and I was really proud of myself for that.
Oh yeah.
So
Wow.
I was like, okay, he's saying "guppy" now. Here we go. Now it's my bird.
Damn, I don't know if he's for sale or not.
Yeah, Pam wants to drive down there and buy the bird from you.
Mario
Yeah, he's a
wants you
good
to
little
get it.
one.
Mario would
Can you
like
say
that.
hi? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Marie Z goes, even with murderous Mario in the house, Pam?
That's probably Mario typing that, not Pam.
Yeah, it probably is.
Peter, what's the difference in the collective and the storefront? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or what's the difference?
So the collective is for breeders. So that's a site that I set up. Let's see, I think it was like maybe a year ago now.
Yeah, it's been a
For
while.
other breeders to be able to list their fish and be able to sell them, and we help them with labels and stickers and whatever else they really need to get going. Logo help if needed, that kind of stuff. I made a bunch of logos for a bunch of people. Right now, I'm working with a new developer. I got this really nice code for the back end as far as like redesigning the back so you can actually get into your own store and create kind of your own listings and your own pictures and all that stuff on your own. And then we just help with everything else. Because right now, with what we are selling or what other people are selling, I have to go in and individually do each listing for each person. So it's it's a little bit hard for me to keep up with everything. So right now we're just putting all that on hold for a little bit. But OFC is a breeder focused website where the waterfront is a store focused website.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're hoping to revamp that and get it a lot better for everybody so that there's a really good resource too, because we want to be able to like have all of our breeders on there and then be able to get them, you know, foods at discounted prices. And if they want to do wholesale orders of fish for their own store, they can do that through us. And then they can use our system because we have it all set up already. Because a lot of the places that we get stuff from, you have to be a store. You have to have the, you know, the brick and mortar address. You have to have all that stuff set up in order to get a lot of the stuff. So we want to kind of be the backbone for that part of the hobby to be able to help supply some people with some really good stuff. Because we understand like you can't. There's some towns that don't have any fish stores or any of that stuff. And so having, you know, Joe in some town where he's got a really good collection of people that want to buy fish and stuff, but he doesn't have enough supply to do that, he can be able to order a bunch and then supply his local area.
It's nice. When you were walking around, I don't want to interrupt you, but I did. But I was wondering, do you have a quarantine area for fish that you import, or not
we don't
so
right
much
now,
worried about?
Yeah, the importers we usually work with already do the quarantine process before we receive them.
Okay, yeah.
So they'll do either a 10-day or a 14-day before we get them, especially if it's like a rarer fish. And we don't order from like just one wholesaler. Lewis has done an incredible job of setting that up. We have about 80 different suppliers we order from, so it's not just one single place we order from every week. So that's really nice. We can say, oh, this supplier does a really good job of Cory cats, but this one doesn't. So we order from this one and for that, and then this one from that, and this one from that. It costs a lot more in shipping, but we don't really have as much of an issue with quarantining or disease or any outbreaks in the store. And we really don't have that much return or any of that stuff to the shop, which is really nice. No DOAs. We do a 14-day guarantee in our store as well, which is pretty big. So
huge.
if something dies in your tank within 14 days and the water's good, we do a replacement or money back. Just because we know our fish are going to survive, just because of the way that we do it. Another huge thing for our store that not a whole lot of stores in our area do is we don't do RO water. It's all Utah tap water. We do that for a couple of reasons. One of which is, I don't know if you guys in your store do the RO water selling or not. But in our area,
water.
it's kind of, just for saltwater, right? Like that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
In our area, they use it as another way to make money. And it's
wow.
very frustrating for a lot of hobbyists because they're spending $2 to $5 a gallon for water. So it's
Wow.
not right. And then a lot of these stores too only bring in RO water fish. So when the fish come in and then they go into another hobbyist tank in the area, they die within 5 days and they have a really bad experience with the hobby. So we do all Utah water, tap water fish. We don't do RO. We don't sell RO. And the reason is because we want people to enjoy keeping fish. Like, so these other stores are kind of ruining it for a lot of people. And we follow all the groups and chats and stuff online. And we see a lot of people with just really bad experiences locally. And it's really kind of disheartening because they haven't come in to see us yet. But when they do, they kind of get a renewed vision for the hobby and what it means to get a good fish. So we like to have that as part of the hobby in our area.
That's
Now,
good.
now
Well, and
I use tap water in our store in our tanks.
Yeah.
However, I do use RO water for top off for evaporation.
Okay.
Mainly because where I'm at, in my little district of Chattanooga, we're on aquifer water, which means, it's coming from a high mineralized subsurface limestone channel.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little on the harder side. And the more you top off with that, your hardness builds. In a fish store, you've got a lot of water changing happening, but you don't have that at home. And that is the one case where I would recommend RO water, but for fresh water, but that is solely for top off.
Yeah.
We have the same thing here. Very, very hard water. We have very stable water here, though, like 7.4 on the pH, which is really nice, but just super high GH, like the hardest of hard water, but everything else is perfect. So, but yeah, I just use regular tap water at home and same here in the store. And we haven't had any issues, but that's interesting that you do that. I'll have to do some research on that on my end too and see what that does for us.
It will keep your hardness down, keep it from accumulating.
Yeah.
Because
With us,
those minerals will not evaporate.
Yep.
We just top off with tap water as well, but I think at home setting, RO makes a lot of sense. In the store, we do so many water changes that it doesn't really accumulate very, very much. So I just use tap. But it really does suck when you have other stores in your area that have that mindset that you were talking about, where they're just trying to make money. It's not fun because you have to. It's almost like when they come to you, they feel like you're lying to them. They feel like, oh, it's too easy. You don't know what you're talking about. Like these guys made it sound so hard. It's not. It's like you're trying to talk them off a ledge.
And it's just so interesting too, because like it's not just the water, right? Like
it's everything.
These other stores sell the remineralizers and all this other stuff.
The additives.
Our water is already perfect for that. Wow. Like at home, I use just tap water. I never use RO, any of that stuff, unless it's a rare one-off species that needs it or something like that. That we'll do an RO system water for that. Like we've had wild Altum fish in store before, wild discus in the store. We've had some wild whiptail catfish that needed RO acclimation, so we did that over time. So there are uses for it that make sense, but as a general person, it's disheartening when you go and you have to buy your water, then you have to buy this chemical and then another chemical and then another one.
Yeah,
and it just causes so many issues for a lot of people, especially when you're starting
chasing
out.
parameters. Yeah.
And,
a good
you know,
example, kind of that would set some people's mind at straight on RO water. If you were to drink it on a regular basis, it would eventually kill you.
Yeah.
It has no minerals. It is 0 parts per million dissolved solids. And it is like a magnet to the minerals in your body.
Yeah, suck them
And
out, leach them out.
it can do the same to fish by running a tank with just RO, or should I say RODI water, deionized.
Exactly.
Typical RO that is not deionized is going to be coming out at anywhere from 5 to 25 parts per million.
Yeah.
But you put that DI resin on there and it knocks it down to 0. And that's when you have problems.
Yeah, I think the Guppy Guru over there is 100% correct. Where there are uses for RODI water, because I guess the example that I use for saltwater people is it's like a blank canvas. So it gets rid of everything in your water to
Yep.
where you can make a masterpiece just with what you've got. Um, instead of using your tap water, which is like a canvas that already has a painting on it, and then trying to make the painting that you want, or paint the painting that you want. So there are uses for it, like he said, the Ultim Angels, the discus, the stuff like that. But people don't realize how far removed all of the farm raised fish are from the wild specimens. Like when you get a neon tetra from Florida, that fish does not need to be in in 6.4 water anymore. It's totally fine in most of our tap water.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because people will look at the wild specimen and say, "Oh, the farm raised fish is the same." No, it's great grandchildren that
F800 at this point.
Yeah.
It's not even close. So
no.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
just really hard when you get a guy. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
Well,
you're
what
fine.
I was going to say, if you were to get a wild discus, you have wiped out 20 years of research and what you're or not research, but work in getting that fish established to the our waters. And that wild discus, yes, you got to treat it just like you bought a discus back in 2000.
Or earlier, yeah.
Yeah, but if you buy, let's say, a Jack Watley or one of these that they've actually bred these guys all the way down to, or all the way up to 7.6, 7.8 pH, they're good to go in most tanks at that point.
Yeah.
But watch out for those wilds.
So why did you say that if somebody drinks RODI water, because that's probably 100% of the water I drink, was going to die?
It takes nutrients out of your body as it's going out. So
Yes.
it takes nutrients from you, and then you pee out that nutrients. It's terrible.
In my old job, we did a process for Olin Chemical where they were pumping RODI water through a pipe from one part of their plant to another. And we set up the system for them, and they called us up with an issue. Their pipes were corroding away.
Oh, my.
And the problem is they used iron pipe. They didn't use stainless steel.
Yeah.
And iron pipe, that RO water has no iron in it, is like a magnet to the iron molecule, and it just comes out of it. And within 1 month, corroded a 2-inch pipe to nothing.
Yeah, it's the nature of RODI water to take on molecules and to take on different minerals. So whenever you're drinking RODI water, you're not drinking any minerals. You're putting the water through your body to then suck out the minerals and get peed out. So you're giving away your minerals and nutrients slowly.
Now, Susie, hold on just a second. If you have a home-based RO system that is meant for drinking water,
No.
It should have a remineralizer.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's meant for my fish tank, but John put a spigot on it. I mean, we drink 2 or 3 gallons a day.
No. Start pulling that water after your drinking water. the tube that comes out of the carbon filter after the sediment filter and then the carbon filter, pull that water. Pull that tube out and let it go into your thing. Don't let it go through that RO membrane.
Yeah. You'll get
Let
your
the carbon
potassium
and
and
the
stuff
sediment
low.
filter get it.
Yeah, because it was a trend. How everybody really found out about that, it was a trend for runners to drink RODI water because they weren't putting anything to build up in their muscles in their body, but they were drinking so much of it that they would faint, and there was like 2 or 3 people that died of just
that's why
nutrient deficiency. That's why I gotcha. That's why I don't
That's
run either.
why she's still kicking. She ain't running.
That's it. Dee Dee, if you can answer me, I saw you say now we can't see Rob and Peter, and that's when I highlighted something on the screen. I want to be sure that why are they going away if I highlight something? I don't get it. Is it happening to everybody? Because it didn't to me.
When
I
you
see myself on the YouTube stream.
When you highlight somebody, it just takes your name away. It don't take the person away.
So I have a question. We have 3 people on the panel that are living the dream of many of us in the chat. I can say that. But you've taken your passion, your hobby, and now you have a store. Is there anything any 3 of you would do different, knowing now what you know?
Great question.
Well, I say the Guppy Guru should go. Sorry, the Guppy Guru should go first.
Absolutely.
Are you talking about like as far as like my own hobby? Like,
well, having a fish keeping hobby, having a passion for it, and now having a store and helping other fish keepers.
I wouldn't change a thing.
Very
Every single thing that I've learned up to the point of today has been a benefit for everyone who comes into the shop, because I'm able to say like, oh, I have done this and it failed. So this is a way that I've failed personally, so let's not try that again. Or like Lewis has been running a store for years, but he's only had a few tanks at home for himself, and he's kept, you know, the larger species of fish. He's never really kept the nanos and the shrimps and that kind of stuff. So we both have a really good teamwork between the 2 of us, as far as like, he's got this covered, I've got this covered, so we're a good rounded group. But I wouldn't change one single thing of what I've done up to now.
You 2 have both sides of the spectrum then. So that's why it works.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Ethan,
yeah, he's
go
got
ahead.
the monster stuff. I mean, he's done it all. So,
Lewis.
So Ethan, what would you change, if anything?
I don't think I'd change a thing. I think the way that I did it was the smartest way that I could have done it, because if I went and started my own store instead of buying one, the problem is that on this side of the dam, the niche is just so, like, their stores will open for 3 to 5 years and then close over here, and that's because, you know, there are the stores that everyone knows, and those are the ones that they go to.
Yep.
So buying the store that I did and changing it from the inside slowly has been probably the best decision I've ever made as far as opening a store here. But that's just looking at the market and making that educated decision, I guess.
Well, I gotta say, and Ethan, I'm not calling you out here or nothing, because I'm gonna
bring it on.
Something out. My very first customer on the day we opened up,
That's me.
January 19th, is that man right down there, Ethan. He walked in my store, literally the very first person to walk in when we opened. And after introducing himself and who he was, he asked me an interesting question. Why did you open in the slow season? And to be honest, I didn't know what the slow season was. I didn't know what the busy season was. But I am so glad I did, and that I opened when I did.
Yeah.
Because it let me get my feet wet before I jumped totally into the busy season.
Yeah.
And it just so happened we opened up in July 19, and 6 months later, we saw, or should I say, when I say we, all of us as the fish market, saw
the biggest jump. Yeah,
the biggest year in fish history.
it was crazy.
Yeah, that launched our store.
Yeah,
That helped get me well established and where I was and locked me down.
yeah,
If it weren't for that time frame, I don't know I would have made it. Had I
really.
opened up earlier, I probably would have been out too soon. And if I'd opened up later, I would have missed the wave.
Yeah,
It's just amazing how things line up.
and it
with
was
this.
it was crazy that the other store closed right when you guys right at that busy season. I'm not gonna say their name or anything, but I'm sure that helped the both of us because it helped us a lot.
Other store.
They closed for a little while. They're open now. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I got
yeah.
you. I'm sitting here thinking, well, because I know in the July 1st, 2019, 19 days before I opened up, Walmart stopped selling fish.
It was awesome.
Thank God. So that was kind of a good opening gift from them.
So I have a question to piggyback Susie, because there's been times I've been thinking about doing it just because there ain't enough of it around in my area.
It depends.
Right. So not on the business aspect side, but on the hobby aspect side. So like whenever I was talking about it, some people said, well, if you do it, you're not going to love it anymore because it's going to be a job.
No.
Wait a minute here.
If it's your hobby.
Right. How is that? Because now you have your fingers in 50 million other different fish that you ain't never seen in your life and can bring them in. And, you understand what I'm saying? And somebody said that to me. I was like, listen, man, I'm trying to quit being a corrections officer here. Will you stop?
Well, it really depends because there are people that burn themselves out. There are people that start and they go really, really, really hard right in the beginning, and then there's a slow burnout period. And those are the people that aren't real. I mean, I'm not going to say they're not real hobbyists because they really did go for it, but they did it too quickly and probably met a lot of, because there's a lot of pushback. I know that Rob probably has seen a lot of pushback. I know Mr. Guppy Guru has probably seen lots of pushback, especially doing online sales. That's a crazy, doing a storefront and doing online sales. I can't imagine what that other half of the business could bring, especially with live animal shipping. Yeah. But and live animal shipping during COVID. Oh my gosh, man. Yes. I am so impressed with you.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
We've done a lot of there's been times where we're like, we're not shipping for 2 weeks or we're not shipping for 3 weeks, because there were multiple times there where it's like shipments aren't getting there within 8-10 days. And it's like, that's just not an option. But right now, most of our fish are FedEx overnight. About 90% of them, because FedEx guarantees it. If it doesn't get there in time, you get your full money back plus your freight. No problems, no questions asked. And even with FedEx, we do packing for if the fish was in a box for 72 hours anyway. Even if it shows up to you within 18 hours, which most of them do. Our average package arrives within 20 hours from us dropping them off at the store or at the FedEx location. Most of them actually arrive the next morning. So we drop them up at 5. They'll get there by 10:30 the next day, which is really cool. But even if they're stuck in transit for 48 hours, we're still packed well enough to where they're still going to get there.
That's amazing. Great. Yeah.
But yeah, the online, Lewis handles that mostly now, where I'm going to start taking over the retail more. But the online is definitely a different beast in and of itself. Yeah. That is hard to wrangle and tackle and get right. And since there's millions and millions of people online on a day-to-day basis, you never know what's going to catch the eye or what's going to work, what's not going to work. Or with the storefront, you can kind of know what your general audience is going to like.
Your market,
we bring in rare stuff all the time, which no one in the state of Utah has ever done. So it's really cool. I mean, we get people driving 6-8 hours to come to our shop because they know we have something cool that no one else has got in the area. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff too. But yeah, online is.
What does your local market look like? Not driving 6 to 8 hours, but like, what does your local market look like?
Well, we're in Salt Lake City, which is the capital city of Utah. So there's
Beautiful.
about 3 million people in our city. So lots of people. Yeah, so it's gorgeous. Lots of fish keepers here. Since we do have a lot of really good hard water here, there's a really, really great fancy guppy association here, IFGA affiliated. Lots of guppy breeders, lots of cichlid breeders in the area. It's really great. It's everything. You've got giant fish. We have customers with 10,000 gallon ponds in their basements. With we sell them the coolest stuff, 28-inch, Fishers and giant lungfish and all sorts of cool stuff,
which is amazing.
And it's just so cool. And I think that's another reason why I think if you're doing it as a hobbyist running a store is that burnout doesn't happen, because I get people to come in and say, I've got this cool fish. Have you ever heard of this? Yeah. And I'm like, no, what the heck is that? Or like Lewis will bring in a phase 3 Luteus pleco, which $2,000 pleco. You don't see that every day.
That you don't see ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Solid black wolffish. You get just everything you can imagine, and you get to see it in person and feed it and take care of it for a while and then give it to someone who's going to take care of it again. So you kind of your hobby extends from yourself, if that makes sense. So it's really cool because I've got I nerd out every day with people. They come in and they're like, oh yeah, I have this one customer comes in all the time and he's like, what do you think about adding this to my tank? And I remember every fish that I've sold him. And he's like, how do you do that? Because I don't even remember what's in my tank. And I'm like, well, it's because it's kind of like it's my tank because I sold you all those
living vicariously.
Fish. Yeah, so it's I love to see the pictures of them and the plants that they put into them and how they stock it. And I love to hear when people come in and they're like, well, I had a tank.
Oh,
we lost audio.
He muted.
Did you touch a button?
No, his headphones probably died.
Yep.
And Bob hit a button.
We do need to tackle that question about water, though. And Rob did say, he said, RO water is fine, RODI water is not. So Rob already said that.
Yes, and to Matt's wife, absolutely. You can drink a fridge-based filter system. They're going to make that safe. Just make sure your cartridges are good and you're good. It does not have the deionizing resin in that system.
Can we hear him now?
Our hashtag is. I can hear. No, I don't hear.
Is my audio weird?
Yeah,
there it is. Good.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I got a phone call and my phone went off the charts.
We've got about 4 minutes left now, and Maria keeps us right on the stopwatch, and so she does a great job. Our hashtag is going to be Guppy Guru to go over to Daniquin's.
Yep.
And,
love it.
At 9, and it's one word, Guppy Guru. And I had actually 2 questions real quick. When you say you have a 14-day warranty, is that for in-store sales or fish that you ship?
In-store sales. Yeah, we do a pretty good warranty on fish too. Usually, if the fish gets there and it doesn't make it within the first 24 hours, we're pretty good about just pay for shipping, we'll get you another fish, that kind of thing. Because you never know, if someone lives really far away, it's always hard because we can't get a water
test
sample.
Their water,
that kind of stuff.
Right,
so it makes it a little bit more difficult with the online stuff. But in store is 14 days, and we're really we're the only store.
Now,
I've got a totally unrelated question.
Yep, freshwater.
Peter, how often do you see Heavy D driving through your town?
I
Heavy D
I don't think I
Sparks.
have. I don't think
Oh,
I've seen him
okay.
drive through. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he needs to stop in and say hi. But
He's on the outskirts, actually.
Oh, okay. I've always
Yeah.
seen him Salt Lake, so
Yeah, he has the Salt Lake address, but it's the outskirts of it. Like, yeah,
I mean, he could stop in anytime. We're literally, so like our store, I-15 runs right through the middle of Salt Lake City, which is one of the largest interstates in the country. You can just pull right off the freeway, one exit, and we're right there. So
Wow.
really close to the freeway. So he could come if he wanted to, very, very easily.
yeah. Well, it sounds like he needs a fish tank
Okay.
set up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get one in
whole
his
different
truck.
side
Who is-
to his
a little 5-gallon.
YouTube channel.
Who is Lewis? Am I the only one that doesn't know who Lewis is?
I don't.
Yeah, so Lewis is the original owner of the waterfront. So he's my partner. He's the majority owner here. So you'll see him in some of my videos and stuff. He's got the longer hair, usually wears a hat. So he started the store. He's 22 years old. So
Nice.
very
Nice.
yeah.
He's
So
an
I love
Ethan.
it.
Cool.
wow,
yeah,
that's good.
here, he
I love
came
these
in.
young guys
Lewis,
starting
come
the
back.
stores.
Hold on, he's right over
We
here.
need it.
Does
we
he
need
have a
more of it.
channel?
He does. It is the Waterfront SLC on
Okay,
YouTube.
that is his channel.
And then
Okay.
he's got it. He does the whole Instagram channel and stuff too for our store and all
Very
that stuff.
nice. That's amazing.
So he does what he does. He's been doing it since he was like, he always jokes about the first time he sold a really big fish. He kept telling everyone in school that he had sold an arowana, and his principal thought that he was saying marijuana. So they took him to the principal's office, and he got suspended for selling an arowana. So yeah, so he was 14 years old when he did that. So so he's been doing it
amazing.
a really, really long time, and I've learned so much from him, which is just the coolest thing. Because I mean, I had my little niche, the community fish. I was doing my thing, and I still love it, but now my world is expanding more and more as I learn from him. Now I've got, platinum bichers and peacock and rainbow gudgeons at home and sevrums and
Love that.
all sorts of stuff that I would have thought I would have kept. But he's like brought in these really cool fish, and it just changes your mind.
Nice.
Tell him to get in touch with me. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Ethan, I was telling Peter about you a little bit before we went live, before you came in. So how you'd worked at the store so long and all
There he
that.
is.
That's Lewis right there. He's running around.
He walked away. He's like,
He's waving.
I missed him. I'll go back and rewatch.
Yeah,
It's all
so
good.
we'll try to
All
get him
right.
on one of these videos one of these times. And
Bring
Well, I
it.
was
I would
gonna-
love to talk to him.
I was going to ask if you'd consider doing a part 2, maybe when you're have things more open and some things settled and all that. Maybe in a month or two.
He doesn't like being on camera as often. He's kind of shy in that world, so it's kind of more my world, and he's kind of come along a little bit for that ride. But I'm sure he would think about it. I can ask him and see what he says. But
he
I would love
doesn't
to
have
talk
to
to
be on part 2. He doesn't have to, but you'll do a part 2 for us in a month or two, maybe.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure.
Awesome.
Anytime you want me.
The bird has to be in part 2.
Yeah, Cotto's got to be
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
The unsung hero.
Little Cotto.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Our time is up. Thank you so much, Peter, for coming on.
You.
It went so fast. Wow.
It did.
really.
Yeah,
Believed it.
talking with you guys is like talking to friends. So that's the best part about it.
Aw.
Thank you. Appreciate that. The panel was awesome as always. So, guys, keep adding your thoughts and prayers. So,
Yes.
you'll get better. It's just that chronic sinus stuff. So,
Good.
and mods, thank you so much. Who could have better mods? I mean, awesome. Thank you. And people that came and listened to this, I know you feel like you really got some good information, and thanks for hanging out with us. So our, what is it called? Hashtag for Guppy Guru. Thank you.
You got a super sticker. Got a super sticker.
Oh,
Nice.
Fantastic Freaks. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate that so much. I can't see what it is, though.
It is the pair doing the fist bump.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, guys. I'll see you over at Kenny's in just a few
Bye, guys.
minutes. In a minute.
Thank
See you
you
next
guys.
time.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Bob.